what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Move Better channel. I am Dr. Joe and this is John Peña-Serrata. Today we're going to be talking about leg length deficiencies, and we're trying to see if you guys have a longer leg. Is it functional or is it structural, and how do we fix it? Let's go ahead and get started. How can we fix a functional leg length inequality? And simply put, we're going to start doing some stretches and we're going to do some activations. So let's start with the stretch first. Right. When we're looking at a functional leg length inequality, we're going to start to see the hips, they're going to be shifted. Now, one of the things that we can look at is we could simply look at the belt line. We can look at the belt line, we can look at the hips, we can look at the iliac crest right over here, right on top of the hips. Sometimes you might see the love handles, which you might call it. So in his case, we might see one side higher than the other. And that's what we look at when we do like a postural assessment. And so we'll see in a line, if we drew a line right across his hips, that one side is going to be higher than the other. And we're going to see this stick. Let's say that side is a little bit higher and he's maybe a little bit translated over towards his hip. We want to release tension off of this side. Turn your back. We're going to try to release tension off of this side while strengthening this side. Okay, so we're going to try to translate his hip back over to the other side. So we'll start by stretching out the tight side, which is his left side. So he's going to do a stretch with the stick mobility here and work with the bow and arrow. So he's going to laterally flex here. You're going to grab the top and there you go. You're going to stick it. Let's move it a little bit further away from you here. There you go. And you're going to push with this hand and you're going to pull with this hand as you drive that hip over towards the side. If you guys don't have a stick like this, one of the things you can do is you can go right to a doorway and you can just kind of push and pull on a doorway. Now with the doorway, you're going to slide your hand straight down because your doorway is obviously not going to be able to bend. You're just going to slide your hand straight down the doorway while you stretch that lateral side of the tight muscles on that spine. What we're trying to stretch here are your QLs, your obliques. We're not just targeting, sorry, I'm like getting in between here. We're not just targeting one muscle group. We're trying to change the patterns. We have tight QLs, we have a tight oblique, we have tight rib cage, we have a tight muscles in between the rib cage muscles, and we have tight muscles along the glutes and the hips on this side. So we're trying to release tension off of everything on that side. One of the things that we lose when we have this is a proprioceptive problem. And proprioception is knowing where your joints are in space, knowing where your body is in space. That's proprioception. We kind of lose connection and whereabouts in those areas. So normally the overactive side, the tight side, is normally where people want to foam roll or people want to try to utilize a lacrosse ball. In this case, we want to stimulate proprioception. We want to increase sensory communication on the right side. So we're going to put a lacrosse ball just right there. So let's get to that. On the side that we're trying to activate, we're going to grab a lacrosse ball. In our case, we have a softball here. And we're just going to put it right along the QLs, the lower back, and we're just trying to roll his body into it, trying to lean and trying to create some tension along those QLs. Again, trying to wake them up because we want them to get to fire. We want to try to translate our hips over to that side. And we're not going to keep it there very long, maybe about 5 to 10 seconds, one set, just trying to put pressure into that really quick and then releasing it. And we're going to go down a little bit. We're going to get towards that glute right over here. We're going to stimulate the top part of the glute or the glute med or the glute min. And then we're going to bring it back up and we're going to get up towards that rib cage on this side because, as I said, we're not trying to just hit one muscle group. We're trying to get multiple that can help translate that hip back over.
So one of the things that you could also add to the routine to get your hips a little bit more aligned, if you have different lengths in leg or leg lengths, is a kneeling exercise right here. And what this does is it will give you a better base as far as what your hips are doing, okay? In this case scenario, Dr. Joe's gonna go with his knees like so, okay? And as you can see, it should put you in a position where you're eliminating the lower half of your legs and now your hips will start functioning into where it's gonna balance itself out, okay? So in this position right here, it automatically will activate his glutes because that's what the muscles will do as far as stabilizing the body. And what he can do here is use some exercises for the upper body that will force the hips to really balance itself out. So one of the things that we'll do here is we'll have Dr. Joe do arm circles going backwards, okay? He could also focus a little bit more on the posture on the upper body, but making sure that his shoulder blades are somewhat retracted towards the middle and the shoulders are actually dropped a little bit from the ears, making small circles of the arms, rotating like so. And then he could also do forward rotations just to make sure that we balance things out, okay? And in this position, again, he will notice that his hips will engage a little bit more than when you're standing. Because when you're standing, you're getting the lower leg doing a lot of work as well. Here, you're forcing. What was that?
I feel myself kind of like shifting back and
Shifting
forth
back and
every
forth,
time
right?
I rotate.
And now your hips are like engaging even more, and that will hopefully get your hips to be a little bit more balanced. Okay. And some of the other things that he can also do is he can do his he can put his hands right here by his temple, okay, and bring his elbows forward. Now we're also getting the shoulders engaged, but again, this will help the core and the hips get more balanced and more engaged in this type of movement, okay? These are exercises that we got from Egoscue, and that's what we're adding for the hip alignment work.
So try those 3 exercises again. See how they work for you guys. It's a simple stretch, a simple proprioceptive reaction, which is a foam roller or a lacrosse ball, and then a tall kneeling exercise. Remember, when you do the tall kneeling exercise, you cut your knees from out underneath you, and it allows your hips and your glutes to do what they need to do, which is stabilize. Send these exercises out to that person that you see is all off and hip hiked up on one side. Like, subscribe, comment, and let us know how we can help you guys move better. Thanks, you guys. Until next time.